many ways, the skeptic's views seem to be borne out by Steve's own research into UFO sightings around Manchester. Steve often gets sent hoaxes.
A photograph was sent in by a friend of mine. The photos were passed on to him. There were two photographs in succession, and the first one you can see, they're both taken on a clear sunny day, more or less. There's slightly a little bit of cloud around. This particular object, which caught his eye, the sunlight reflection maybe on it, and of course again on the second one. Now this was a big giveaway for us because it was what we refer to as duplexing, and that method is caught by camera shake. It's a single object which is obviously light, but because there is camera shake, it seems to duplicate, so there looks to be more than two objects, or you can have even a succession of 3, 4 and 5. There is a very faint tail as well. On the second photograph, it gives it away even more so. It looks to be a cylindrical object with a tail. Now most people, these are very similar to the 1950s photographs, were taken in black and white. And lots of people claim that they were flying discs or cigar-shaped objects. It is in fact an aircraft, a civilian aircraft. And because of its acute angle in reflection to the sunlight bouncing off it, you can't see its tail and you can't see its wings. But nevertheless though, you can see its contrail behind. Big giveaway, that's actually an aircraft. It's an identified flying object, an AFO.
And some of them are really easy to spot.
This particular video, which was sent to us a couple of years ago, is regarding a UFO that was flying over Salford, Manchester. It travelled all the way through to Southport and beyond. Travelled around about 7,000 miles. Turned out to be nothing more than this. It was a triangular solar balloon. The two gentlemen that released it put a little tether on the end of it with a little sticker saying, "Let us know how far this travels." Travelled over, quite about 7,000 miles. These things are videoed regularly and you can purchase them quite cheaply.
Many of them are just everyday objects.
A lot of photographs that were sent to us only last year. These particular photographs were photoed in Urmston and Flixton, Manchester. And on one particular evening we had around about 15 different witnesses that reported strange orange balls of light in the sky. What was interesting is with the photographs, when we looked at them, they do look quite interesting. I had to admit, yes, there was something strange about them. They didn't have to have any aircraft recognition lighting. There was no sound at the time reported, and they all kind of traversed through the sky in the same direction. The unfortunate thing is that we had a gentleman who photographed and videoed the same things with a professional film camera, and you can see what these actually were. You can see that these are fire lanterns. They're easily accessible. You can buy them for literally 50p or £1 in most shops now, and there's certainly no restrictions on the launching and the safety protocols that are involved in regarding these particular things. The problem for us is that most people's digital cameras, when filming and photographing such things, turn out to pretty much looking like this. And it's only when we actually use a professional camera that we get something significantly different. And we knew straight away that the objects were in fact fire lanterns, and we released a load of information to let people know, and the general public, that that's what they were actually seeing. A few of them were still convinced though, nevertheless, that they had seen something extraterrestrial in origin.
However, with more and more advanced technology, hoaxes are becoming more and more sophisticated. Steve tells us why.
This particular video had our investigators running around for quite some time, and as you can see, it was taken over Manchester town centre and depicting a triangular object in the sky. Very good definition, and you can work out even from the signpost exactly where it is in Manchester. What we waited for was public response, and in this case we didn't get any. And what was unusual is that we normally would have had hundreds of people would have reported this thing. In fact, we didn't have any, which led us to believe that the object wasn't even really there. And this is in fact a video hoax, which was produced by students from Manchester University as a project.
If you're an aspiring ufologist, check out Steve's advice.
When people see something strange in the sky, they don't tend to think about what they should do. And there's a number of important things that is really necessary, and that's the first thing, is to take into consideration the time of when you're actually looking at this, the direction of where the sun is at that time, other people around that you might be able to draw their attention to it. It's always great to have another witness and their perception of what they've seen. To make notes as quickly as possible, really, because you do forget things very quickly, the little details. If you've got a video camera, always tripod it, don't have it on automatic focus. And keep it as steady as, and talk. People film, but they don't talk about what they're seeing. You know, they might just film an object, but they're not saying anything. And it's important to sort of get your words over as well as to what you're actually seeing. And take photographs, as many as you possibly can, for the whole duration of the incident.
What shouldn't they do?
What shouldn't they do? Is probably panic. People do panic sometimes. I don't know why. There's nothing really to be worried about. People do see strange things in the sky occasionally, and it's a matter of keeping a level head. Try and draw other people to the same thing if somebody's nearby.
Sometimes it's not so much what's seen as what's heard that causes excitement. Steve takes up the story of a radio signal that got the experts going.
The SETI Institute is a number of telescopes, radio telescopes, featured all around the planet in different countries. And a few years ago, the Australians, a news company, released some information regarding a strange signal that they'd found. And apparently, it was a periodic signal around about 5:15 in the evening, and they'd get it for about probably only a minute or two, and then it would disappear, and it caused really big news over there. And of course, because it was periodic, they thought anything periodic usually, should I say, it has some intelligence behind it. So they thought, great, fantastic. At that time of the day, they tuned into it, and it took only about 3 or 4 days for them to realise what, in fact, they were picking up was the microwave oven from downstairs. Because around about 5:15, a certain amount of the people working there would take a break, go down to the kitchen, put a pie in the microwave and switch it on. And in fact, that microwave signal was being leaked, and it was that we were actually picking up on. So unfortunately, it crushed a lot of people's ideas that it was actually intelligent communication was going to come to Australia first.
Yeah, I believe they're real. I think a lot of people misinterpret what the actual term UFO means. Unidentified flying object, which could cover a whole range of things, being military jet that have not been seen by the public yet, or passenger jets that have not been seen yet, that have been test flown. I think people seem to all quickly think UFO means low green men, but whether it is or not, I don't know. But I think obviously there's a lot of things out there that we don't yet understand. Some of the government do, some we'll find out at a later date.
Why do you believe so passionately that there is something out there?
I believe because I think someone once told me, I think a scientist mentioned that for every grain of sand there is on the planet, there's like 1 million stars or something, 1 billion stars, some crazy figure like that. So if you imagine that you took a handful of sand and you're holding it there, for every 1 grain of sand that's in your hand is 1 million stars. And if you think about all the planets that could be going around each of those stars. I mean, how many planets around ours, whatever. You think we've got life okay in our solar system, but how many other solar systems are out there? And the chances are you've got millions upon millions, billions, trillions of solar systems. To think that there's only just us out there right now, I kind of think that'd be kind of ignorant to think. I don't say we are special, I believe we're special, but I think it'd be a bit of a lonely place to think that there wasn't anything else out there.
Another day ends and the search for UFOs carries on. Join us next time for more exciting information about unidentified flying objects.